I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening and welcome to everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that debate stream. I did, really did. From the top, I'm just going to quickly read a couple of super chats which came in before this stream started. First of all, from Dora and Koo, super chatted €5. Thank you, Dora, saying, "What a terrible lie you committed. That was good singing. How can I ever trust you again?" I thought I was excellent singing, much better than Simon Dan, who just purchases his yodeling tracks from elsewhere. I make my own. And also earlier on, Cygnus TSP and Sean were talking about Sean having a debate. And Cygnus actually offered to pay $100 to someone to debate Sean. And I said, look, I'm not interested in $100. I'll happily host a debate between Sean and someone else to be announced. If you can arrange that, Sean, give us a shout and I'll host. More than happy to. But then Cygnus super chatted me $50 US. Thank you so much, Cygnus, saying for having to put up with Harold that long. Yeah. So thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Who else we got? Actually, my screen's all misaligned. It's all funny. I want to go back to the standard player so I can see the chat as well. Loads of people in here. Quite a lot of you were watching the debate. I did notice your names. I really appreciate the support. I really do. And what I'll probably do is upload the entire debate in a couple of days' time. But I've had a couple of people say, are you going to do an after show? You're going to do an after show? Well, curry comes first. I've had my curry. Mrs. S ordered the wrong curry for me, but I've had my curry nonetheless. It was nice. And so here we are. I would also like to share a tweet that I was sent during the debate. This tweet is from Conspiracy Cats, no less, saying, "I know you won't read this now because I'm watching you debate Mr. Stirrup. Just wanted to say how much I'm enjoying you destroy him. Great job." Well, thank you, Cats. I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. It really does. So big hello to everyone here. Thanks to all of you, my subscribers, members, my patrons, and any of you who are visiting here for the first time. You're all very, very welcome. I see I've got a couple of people in the voice chat. They're actually not in the live waiting room. Where are they? They're in the arena, so they're in the wrong place. But I do have Captain Welshie waiting in the live waiting room. So if a couple of people want to jump in, more than welcome to. I thought we'd have a bit of a look at this debate, for want of a better word. So I'll tell you what, because it's quite a long debate, I'm not sure how much we'll do or skip or whatever. Yeah, it was a bit difficult getting things sorted. Organisation-wise, it was really easy because Howard actually organised it with James, so that was good. I didn't have to muck around with that. But James made it very clear about copyright material. When I debated someone else on his channel a few weeks back, that person played a video as their evidence with an entire song on it. And of course, they got a copyright strike. So he gave fair warning not to use any copyright material. And I assured him that I have no copyright music. One clip of video with me talking in it, and that was it, really. But Howard doesn't quite get the copyright thing. He was using someone else's video in his video. He said he had permission, but of course James needs to know that because he doesn't want to get a copyright strike, quite rightly. So there's a lot of mucking around there, and the reason the stream was delayed was trying to sort some things out with regard to Howard's evidence. But there we go. And I just got a super chat from April Van Ryn for $26.66 Canadian dollars. Sorry, Mr. S. I've been tied up with life. My dad had a heart attack Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, April. I hope he's okay and getting better. My love left me. Oh, dear. My kids need me. I was always here even when I wasn't. Sorry, I'm not a mod now, but it's okay as long as you can get that work. Oh, April, I did actually do a review of mods, not because anyone's done a bad job, but I was trying to keep the numbers trim, and so I removed some people as mods who hadn't been around for a while. It's no, no slur upon them at all. I was just literally just trying to keep the numbers down, and every now and then I will review, and even people who are modding may get moved off of being a mod and other people moved in. We'll see. But I really appreciate the super chat, and like I said, I do hope that your father and everything works out okay for you. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, everything is good now, relatively. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Wow, I just see we've got a bunch of people in the live waiting room. Colon's in there. I'll give him a chance to make sure everyone is tickety-boo with regard to headphones and mics and stuff. Colon, if you wish, I won't drag you into the live. If you wish to jump into live, you know you do have access, so you can do that. That's all right. Right, well, let's grab a couple of people. I know that Mr. 42 and Captain Welshie were there earlier on. I'll give the other two a couple of minutes so that Colon can make sure they're all sorted out. So let's bring in Mr. 42. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Jolly good, jolly good. And
how do you do this? Every time I'm mid-sentence, you pull me in.
Well, have you not read the warning? If you're in that room, you're liable to be pulled out.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But it's funny how you do it every time.
Oh, Colon sends
and good evening all.
Colon tells me when you're talking and the best time to rip you out of there. And I see a few hellos. Hello to you guys. And Martin H says I'll have to prize. What was it? It's just scrolled off screen. Prize his spanner out of his cold dead hands. Shall I unmod him? Just for no, I won't unmod you, Martin. I wouldn't dare. And another super chat from Now Pinion, who did get mentioned in the debate. I don't know if you're aware of that now. For 55 Swedish kroner, saying I've only seen the first part of Howard's intro so far. Yeah, I stopped when Howard showed a dancing woman on the beach. Watching a stream now instead. Yeah, his evidence I didn't feel came to much. I know he had a bit of it cut out, but what did you think of his evidence, 42 and Welshie?
I was actually commenting in the chat, where is his evidence?
Good point. Well made. Yeah. There was half a dozen memes. I actually wrote some notes. Half a dozen memes. He went on about hypnosis.
Memes are not evidence.
Memes are definitely not evidence. He went on a bit about Venus and the angle of that, but what's that got to do with the shape of the Earth? He had the out of focus stars. He went on about his £10,000 or whatever it is challenge. Well, I wasn't even aware of that, so that's why I didn't enter it.
Was it 10,000 euros?
That's what he said.
10,000 somethings. Yeah, apparently it was on some TV channel in Spain. Well, how's that going to help me? There we go. But if he renews his challenge, I'm up for having a crack at it. If it sounds something I think I can do. What else? Oh, Cold Moonlight, of course. I wasn't really expecting that one.
Oh, not that moonlight nonsense.
Yeah, and Antarctica being forbidden, of course. Yeah, that old chestnut. But again, that's not disproving the shape of the Earth, is it?
No, it isn't. But he made me laugh at one point where he was on about CGI and he brought up Stanley Kubrick's 2001: Space Odyssey.
He did.
I don't know if he actually. I don't think he actually knows what year that was actually released.
Yeah, I'm not sure what year.
1968.
Do you know what? I was going to guess 68, but that would have been a guess, and it was around that time. But that wasn't CGI. There was no such thing.
Yeah, no such thing at all. It was pretty much all props.
Yeah. Even Star Wars in, what was that, 70? Was that 70? 77. That was models.
Yeah.
So there we go. Look, I'm going to bring the other guys in. It's two names I've not come across before, so let's get them in as well so they can join in. So first of all, we have M. Shedler. Hello, M. Shedler. Hello,
we
M.
just
Shedler.
Heard him. Mr. Cooper, come in. That's how I call him.
Here.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. Did you catch the debate then?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Good. That's good because I'd like to have your input as well then. Welcome to the channel, and I'm going to bring in the other guy, Rory. Hello, Rory. How are you? Give him a chance to unmute. Hello, Rory.
He was here, but he's been muted since he came into the waiting room.
Oh, has he? All right, I'll pop him back in the waiting room. Colon can always move him in if he becomes ready. Right, yeah, so, well, I'm glad you caught that debate. I enjoyed that one. I was ready. I had a couple of gotchas for him. Oh, someone getting clicking noises, or was that just my headphones?
I heard it.
Yeah.
I think that might have been me. I
It
muted
is.
myself. I didn't want to get crazy here.
Yeah, but you're not muted. It's crackling after you finish speaking. It's still crackling.
Oh, then I'll leave it alone then. It's the switch on the headset.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't think much of his evidence. It wasn't really any evidence against the Globe. I mean, I wish he had some actual evidence rather than and memes.
Me, he was basically just what got to me was more like he was up with the pictures of he wanted like a picture of a country or something like that,
Yeah.
like in space.
Yeah. Well, I knew that was coming, you see, because I did my homework. I watched him in one of his other debates, and that's all he seemed to go on about. So I had that picture of the UK ready, and I had that those images of several places, including what was it? I've forgotten the cities or whatever now. Somewhere in Mongolia and wherever, developing over about 20 years. Set to some fine yodeling, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was for him the perfect moment to move the goalpost.
Yep. So I had that ready. I sort of missed one thing I was prepared for. I was waiting for him to hand wave Mage away in that he was saying, oh, I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it or whatever. And no, I haven't heard of it, because I got a clip of him on his debate with MC Toon when MC Toon starts to tell him about Mr. Sensible and Mage being in the UK because he was after pictures from height or whatever. And so I was waiting for him to deny having heard of me or having heard of Mage, because I was going to play that clip, which would have shown him to be a liar. But I can't accuse him of that with regard to Mage because he didn't deny that Mage happened.
We have Rory in here now.
Ah, hello, Rory.
And Colin.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, C.
Hey, Mr. S. Just wanted to quickly point out you had a couple of DMs from, super chats earlier. If you check your DM.
Yeah, I did just read a couple of super chats. Check my DM.
Oh no, these are right from the beginning.
Yeah. Dora and Cygnus. I've just done those. Thank you. Yeah, I read those because I saw them.
The one for 50.
Yeah, the one for 50. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It's very kind, isn't it? Right, let me just jump back to the right room. Where am I? Yeah, so Rory, hello to you.
Hello. Nice to finally talk to you.
And you're very welcome onto the channel. I hope you actually saw the debate.
I was hoping to watch this one on time, but sadly I couldn't, so I've been trying to catch up after work.
Okay. All right, so I guess some aspects you won't be able to comment on, but so you saw some bits of it, did you?
Yeah, just a few though. Just the beginning mostly right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got this set up so that I can show bits of the debate, but I see little point. I'm not trying to hide his evidence, but I see little point in showing it. Well, I suppose I could show a bit of his evidence if I just jumped to it, but there wasn't really much in the way of evidence as far as I could see.
At least nothing new. There was nothing new for someone who says he's not a flat earther. There was nothing.
No, there was nothing really at all, but there we go.
I mean, the opening montage was just things taken completely out of context more than anything else.
Well, it was just typical flat earther stuff, wasn't it? But I did point out at the beginning of mine that it seems as though, and someone actually put a comment in James's chat before the stream started, when they saw it said globe skeptic. So he wasn't claiming it's flat or a dodecahedron or anything. He was just saying whatever it is you say is wrong. So he's not even putting forward a shape. He's just denying one that there is evidence for.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a bit of a cop-out. But there we go. Well, should we have a listen to just a little bit of his evidence? I've jumped in. I think this is Don Petty.
Top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. Might require a spacewalk.
Look, just because astronauts practice in swimming pools and have shot scenes in darkness to
We
give
don't
the
hear
effect
anything.
of outer
You
space,
haven't got the sound?
I get it.
No,
Maybe
nothing.
maybe in YouTube they do,
Oh.
but not in
Right,
Discord.
I need to. Yeah, they will do on YouTube.
Okay.
But I need to actually share that somehow to you guys. I can't remember how to do it. Darn. Oh, share my screen. Here we go. Right, can you see that there?
Yeah.
Right,
Click.
so you see if you get sound now in the room.
Doesn't necessarily prove that they haven't really been,
You getting it?
though it does cause many people to lose faith in their broadcasts, as just seeing how difficult they find coming out and how they can't even get a grip. Never mind, how would they handle tools in an even more hostile environment?
Well, I mean, that's typical of a lot of his evidence. Well, okay, you've got questions about how astronauts do this or that, but that is not debunking the shape of the Earth, is it?
That's basically the whole point why they are doing this, to get used to it so they can make it more easy when they're really up there.
Yeah, but I'm saying whether it's the training in the pool or it's them up in space, either way, that's not saying anything about the shape of the Earth. And I've just seen. I'd just like to welcome Frank being Frank as a new sensible member. Thank you, Frank. Welcome to the club. Yeah, sorry,
Good
carry
guy.
on.
So, what I was wondering is, what does all this anti-space stuff have to do with anything anyway? It's nothing. Even if they proved it completely wrong, it still doesn't say anything about the shape of the Earth.
Well, that's true. That's very true. Other than the fact, I guess they have to, if they're denying space travel because they're denying things like orbits, and denying space and gravity and so on, because all of those things do actually debunk a flat Earth.
Yeah, it is all connected in a way.
Yeah.
It does not directly prove the Earth is flat or other way. Yeah, you know what I mean. But because they say the Earth is flat, they have to deny space, they have to deny gravity, blah blah, and that's why they go this path.
Yeah, because I mean, gravity wouldn't work on a disc.
No.
The centre of gravity would be the centre of the disc and halfway through the thickness of the Earth, which means as you walk out towards the end, you'd be having to lean over more and more and more. It just doesn't, and that's if the disc didn't collapse under its own weight.
And you have a super chat.
I do indeed, from April Van Ren for $11.32 Canadian, saying they say this is £6.66. Actually, that is something I prepared for as well. I was waiting for him to come up with the. Let me see if I can find the. I was waiting for him to come up with all the stuff. Earth tilts at 66 degrees or whatever. But it's actually 23.5, which doesn't make 66 for the other portion of it. And also the 8 inches per mile, because I worked it out in centimetres and kilometres. It's just a bloody number. And that depends on the what do you call it? The units you're using. Simple as that.
Wasn't it accidentally also 8 centimeters per kilometer?
No,
I heard that somewhere. I never even checked it. But
No.
It could be.
Actually, let me just pull it up, because I did get the figures, because I just felt that was likely to be something he was going to use. Right, so the tilt is actually 23.5 degrees and 66.5, not 24 and 66. Sorry, 20. Yeah, you know what I mean. 8 inches per mile is equivalent of 20.32 centimetres per 1.60934 kilometres.
Oh, yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
per kilometer? You didn't check that?
No, I didn't check it per kilometre,
Okay,
because I wanted to make
fair
it look
enough.
all the more ridiculous anyway. And the other thing, of course, is the Earth orbit speed of 66,600 miles per hour, which isn't 666 anyway. Well, for a start, that varies, because the Earth orbits in an ellipse, but the average is 66616 miles per hour, which of course is 107,182.31 kilometres per hour. It's just numbers. It doesn't mean anything. There we go.
I think with like space denialism and flat Earth, they go in hand.
Yeah, I think they have to. And it's denying. Well, it's denying everything, isn't it? Denying science almost full stop. Well, let him carry on a bit, see if he's got anything else.
So it seems sensible to remain sceptical when viewing secondary information.
Voyager's cameras afforded scientists.
I'll just make clear, the reason his voice is out of sync with the video is because he had to mute his video and try and talk and keep it in step. And it's all screwed up because he wasn't broadcasting the video, but James was, because Howard didn't seem to be capable. But there we go.
Super chat.
Yes, another one from April. Thank you, April. For $5 Canadian, I brought it up because I'm a godless heathen. Don't overread it.
And that message from Now Opinion.
Oh, another one? Was there another now?
I'm
Now
not
Opinion,
sure
member from 17 months. Thank you, Now. Here's another number. I'm turning 42 in December. Dun, dun, dun. 42. Eh?
It's
42.
the correct number.
Yes. Oh, and hi, Ranty. In there, you're welcome to jump in. Yeah, so this is evidence. It gets very confusing. I mean, to be honest, I was just looking at the pictures in the end to see what he was talking about. This is that Jupiter red spot rotation thing he was talking about, and the layers of the clouds going in different directions at different times. But that actually, again, doesn't have any effect on Earth.
I didn't quite get what he was. What he
Not
meant by
really.
that,
I think
actually.
he was saying it was fake. Well, okay. If you said, okay, let's give you that the Voyager photos were fake. All right. So how is that showing the Earth's not a globe? Not at all. It's another denial thing. But I'll let him carry on.
Spectacular close-up views of the Great Red Spot. A storm 3 times the diameter.
It's playing over your voice, so...
No, it's not my voice. It's him and his voice. It's his video and his voice. Oh, someone has got YouTube open because I just heard it repeat back to me.
Mr. Cooper.
One of you guys here in live chat has got the YouTube live stream open. You should just hear it just from the Discord.
Sound is off. I'll turn it off.
Okay.
Is it gone? I don't have it open.
Okay. Well, let's try. I think it's okay now. There we go.
Okay.
I don't know if you're able to see that or hear that.
I'm good.
Oh, this is James
Earth,
talking now.
raging in Jupiter's atmosphere.
I'm going to jump his video forward because there were issues with it.
Satellite. This is the Discover satellite.
There's no wiggle whatsoever there. Oh, and look.
I can see clouds
Here the
moving.
clouds are dark again.
So this is the Himawari 8, which is in also geostationary orbit.
You claim it's a fact, yet you can't provide one photo of a
Sound
whole
not daft like
country
ugly.
I don't need to.
right now. You can't even take the challenge to find.
Oh, look at that meme there. Which Australia is the real one?
Oh.
Well, different distances, different focal lengths, and so on. You can disprove that with a toy globe and a camera at home.
I think I demonstrated that. Or
Yeah,
no,
it's been
it was
demonstrated.
on your channel, Mr. Sensible.
Yeah, well, it's
that
been-
a good chap
That's right.
demonstrated that.
It's been demonstrated many times,
Yeah,
so that's a total
absolutely.
fail. So let's get past this.
Took 5 minutes to set that up and look at it and see it.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Find a real photo of a whole country and then try and backdate it, like I said.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Howard. Take a look at this. This is Shanghai in China from 2013 to 2018. Just a 5-year difference and quite a change.
Which was exactly what Howard had been asking for. He's been provided it, and people were saying in the chat that they'd sent photos to Howard from satellites, but there we go.
Needs to go in nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. I mean, I think that was the vast majority of his stuff was nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr.
thanks,
X,
Daniel.
I actually dropped you a video as well in side chat, a 20-second one that I actually put together
Yeah.
of India.
I mean, this is a known thing. There's nothing difficult about that, is there? I mean, I found I had my setup, of course, with all those videos of different places over the years, just captured from Google Earth. Right, so he's going on about images from these Google drone things, but that's fine, but that's not showing the shape of the Earth. And that's nothing to do with the ISS, which I showed video of as predicted. I'll let him carry on a bit.
You've proved my point exactly. We only see real photos from things flying above us in high altitude, because if there really were thousands of satellites in space, we would have an endless supply of photos from every angle, since the 60s, daytime and night, to compare the changes in vegetation, construction and lighting. But when you zoom in, there's nothing to see but distortion. And I'm surprised that anyone would be able to sleep with that kind of intensity.
And then he goes on about hypnosis. Apparently we're all hypnotised. I don't know how many of you got. Have any of you guys ever had hypnosis?
Not me.
No.
No. Well, sorry, did someone say yes?
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from, because what he's actually trying to get to is market forces and advertising, saying that they're all trying to get you to buy stuff or do stuff or get stuff. Yeah, that's called advertising, and that is applicable in sales. But when it comes to things like science, no. You've got to actually do the damn experiments. You've got to do the proof. You've got to get the maths right, and you've got to analyze all your variables.
And I mean, let's say I hypnotise you, Colon, and convince you that the Earth is a cube. That's fine.
Yes, Mr. Sensible, the Earth is a cube.
Give me all your money at once, Colon.
Hold on, what just happened?
But if I manage to hypnotise you with that fact, along comes Mr. 42 and shows us some evidence that it's not a cube, that it's a globe. So any other scientist can and would want to try and debunk me if I've just used hypnotism. That's just rubbish. That's utter rubbish, isn't it?
I feel like they've never really looked into the fact that there's a thing like, it's not hypnotism like the movies. It's suggestibility.
Yes. Well, I mentioned in the stream that I've had hypnosis. It was an anti-smoking thing. It didn't work in the slightest. So I'm not knocking that, because I know it works for some people. So whether they are actually hypnotised or whether they have been able to convince themselves, that's fine. But the point is, it doesn't work for everyone. And what percentage of the Earth thinks that the Earth, the Earth's population thinks the Earth is a globe? 99.9999999 and a bit recurring, I would think. So they've had to hypnotise just about everyone, wouldn't they? See, I've hypnotised them all. None of them are disagreeing with me. Let's carry on a bit. I'll skip past the hypnosis.
Most people don't like in the official narratives. Many people like myself instead recommend making your
Shouldn't
own
this be the dark
observations.
side, as the sun is behind it? Please do make the observation after sunset and compare results.
What? Where are you getting that the sun would be behind it? The sun is behind you as it's set, and Venus is in front of you.
After the sun...
It's as if angles don't matter.
Exactly. I mean, you're looking at the sun directly ahead, or just as it's setting, but Venus is over there. I mean, you might think that's only a couple of degrees, but it's sort of virtually at 90 degrees or whatever to the sun, or certainly a large angle to the sun. He can't, as I said later on, he needs to go out and buy some Ds, because he needs at least 3 of them to understand this. It's a bit of a cheeky dig, but there we go.
Yep.
Well, let him carry on.
Sunset, you can see Venus in the blue sky when the sun's setting behind it, and it's very clearly bright and it's flickering like the stars.
Okay, yes, the sun is sometimes setting behind Venus, but because of how bright Venus is and how far away it is, and the fact that our eyes can't resolve it, it still appears as a bright star to us.
Neither the sun nor the moon are flickering like we see the stars flickering. So yeah, please do check out Venus.
Flickering.
Yeah, that whole business of that. Of course, you get good binoculars or a telescope, you'll see the phases of Venus. You don't see that blurry blob that he's got, because these flat earthers cannot focus a camera for the life of themselves, can they? Is everyone dead?
No, we're just listening.
No.
Yeah. There we
But
go.
it's like if you face the camera up, it's like, oh, you can't look at the ceiling to know what shape the floor is. And then you face the camera down, it's like, oh, well, it's digital, so it's not a real photo. They've got an excuse for everything.
Absolutely. It's nothing but a litany of excuses, isn't it?
Well, they're trying to
the
use...
goalposts.
Yeah.
And they're trying to use autofocus on a planet.
Yeah, and they're talking about stars flickering. Yeah, they twinkle because of currents in the air, and they're point sources of, well, faint point sources of light. The moon and the Venus are massively brighter than those. So you just don't see the... I forget what the proper word is off the top of my head. There's a word for it for the twinkling. Scintillation, isn't it? They scintillate.
Scintillating little star.
Yes, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it, does it?
No, I don't. No.
Turtle Moves just said, are you saying cigarettes are more powerful than hypnotism? Well, back then, for me, Turtle Moves, they were. Yeah, they had... I actually wanted the hypnosis to work because I tried everything else, but it didn't work for me in the slightest.
It did work for my father-in-law, so it can work.
Absolutely. But whether it is hypnotism is actually affecting him, or whether he has that faith in it, and I'm not knocking it, and so he has convinced himself, either way, who cares if it's worked and
that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Maybe it does work. Maybe it's people convincing themselves it works. For that, I don't mind. I'm not knocking it, and I wouldn't want to persuade your father. Do you know what, that hypnosis is no such thing, and him say, well, I'll start smoking again. No, not at all, not at all. Let's carry on. See what Dan's saying.
Is a funny one. I would suggest that this is down to the poor focus in the clip that Howard is using here from his camera.
Oh, look at those. Look at those stars that Flat Earthers put forward. You focus at a point source of light, like I said, a cartel, like from a distance at night. If you're not focused properly, that's what you're going to see. A blurry blob.
It's not looking good for evidence of flat earthers, is it?
No. And, I mean, even if that's what stars really, really look like, again, that's nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, is it? Nothing at all. Yeah. I'll let them carry on.
Sadly, even after they're caught lying, they'll still keep making excuses,
I can't hear anything anymore.
resorting to obsolete explanations, and claim that anyone that disagrees with them is just less intelligent or using the wrong equipment. But we can observe both the moon change its path over a month and the different locations that the sun moves.
You guys in the room aren't getting the sound anymore?
I'm getting it.
I'm still getting it, yeah.
Yeah, you should be. The screen is shared. That video window is shared to you. Oh, hold on.
I was, and then it stopped.
Oh, what am I doing here? Sorry,
Well, it's fine if you don't. We can go forward if we don't.
Yeah, well, it should be coming through. Let's carry on.
Through our sky over a year, but we don't see any change in the path that the stars take. They seem to follow the exact same path each night, every month, even after thousands of years.
Yeah, so he's saying that stars, not talking about the rotation, but stars, the patterns of the stars don't change over thousands of years. But of course I was able to evidence by showing a stacked photo of Barnard's star over a dozen years or whatever, and you can see it moving. And I also showed about parallax with stars that are nearer, because astronomers use that for measuring the distances to the nearest stars. And with the New Horizons probe, they were able to get even more parallax on stars because it had a much larger baseline. Saber Eagle says, why are we listening to a moron? Well, I'm sorry you think that of me, Saber Eagle. Oh, you meant George. Howard Georg Stirrup. So good they named him 3 times. Yeah.
Which should cause
I wonder why it is that he only likes looking at stars in the northern hemisphere.
Especially as you look further out to the constellations seen above the equator.
Look, he's got that image, bottom right, of 3 stars. I mean, it doesn't look like a photo to me, but the stars lined up with the peaks of the pyramids. But he's talking of what, 3,000 years or whatever, depending which stars those are. Yeah, they may visibly not have moved. but give it another 10,000 or 20,000 years, they're no longer a line.
Yeah, so like stars do move.
They say,
Like,
I didn't see that. Polaris is fixed. Well, a couple of things. One, no, it isn't. Over many years, it will no longer be the pole star. And even right now, it's not exactly at the pole. It goes, if you've got that, the stacked image to show star trails, Polaris actually draws a little circle. So that's a double fail there, Howard Georg Stirrup, if you're listening.
Mr. Sensible,
Yeah.
are you up for another guest?
Oh, we got Crow.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Crow is ready to be pulled in.
Okay. Hello, Crow. Hello, Crow. You're on live.
Don't be shy.
He was there a second ago.
Okay. Gary, why
Give
Bengley
him a
is saying that there's no parallax for the stars. I showed it. I actually showed it on the stream. Did you not see that? I guess you didn't. Maybe I need to... I don't know if I've got it here. On my evidences that I happen to have on this setup. I don't think I have. But I actually showed parallax of the stars and movement of the star. I don't have the image. Oh, I could probably get the image just for you, Gary. I'm going to show you this because you actually mentioned it. And I'm sorry, but we're going to have to disabuse you of that notion right now. Let me just resize.
Yeah, I've seen your proof today even.
Yep. There you go, Gary. Yep. Barnard star from 2004. So that's 4 years. That's the movement of Barnard star over just 4 years. So those stars,
I really like that image.
It's lovely.
I really
isn't
like
it?
that image.
I've used
That's
it a couple times, but they endlessly say stars don't move. They're fixed. Well, apparently not. There's a hell of a delay. It hasn't come through onto the stream yet, has it?
But I think the other evidence that you had was more of parallax. This is movement.
Yeah,
right?
that's movement. But that is showing that the star is closer and moving faster than those other ones surrounding it. But I do have a parallax one as well. Let me just see if I can get that, because I would like to make sure that Gary is happy.
Talking about Gary, if I may interrupt a little bit, about 2 months ago he called out Dr. Phil Bell, and he was going to email you. Did that ever happen? They wanted to debate.
I'm not sure. I'm happy to host a debate. So what is it? Oh, right.
Because Gary refuses to answer me about it.
Oh, dear.
So I have to call him out now.
Come on, Gary.
Right. I'm going to try and show this, but I'm not sure if it will show properly. Let's just transition this. Oh, right. The screen position is crap. Let me just resize it for you, Gary. Here is star parallax. That's two views of the same star from different positions, one being Earth, the other being New Horizons probe. There is parallax. Okay? I hope this
I don't think that's being shown.
No, this is really odd. That is what's broadcast. You can see it here in the Discord.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's actually on the main screen. It's not in the waiting room. It's all right.
Yeah, not in the waiting room. So that's New Horizons probe. I'll switch that back off again because it's blocking chat and so on. So there you go, Gary. Parallax. Live busted. So where were we, guys? I'm not going to be able to go through this whole thing like this.
This is an open source investigation, yet most people choose to not take part, even when there's so much to win. 10,000 I offered, and you had nothing to lose. Seeing that we never lose landscape due to curvature at water level should be enough reproducible evidence for you to become a globe skeptic.
Not that, man.
Well, what about?
Okay.
Yeah, what about Ranty's photo, the Blackpool Tower thing?
Yeah,
and
just behind
the mountain.
that.
Yeah, mountain partly hidden.
Exactly.
So,
Mr. S, right? Howard had this challenge out for a while. He did offer it up to a number of people, and one guy actually did a video for him. He went, "Nuh-uh, I'm not accepting it. It's not what I actually showed, and it's not from where I told you to take the video from." He was actually on the right spot. Howard is lying about it.
Well, he needs to put out there's no point in addressing a challenge that's not there anyway. So I said to him, you know, the challenge isn't there anymore. So why am I interested? I didn't know about it. It's not there anymore. Reinstitute the challenge, and then I'll look at it. And I've got a super chat. Thank you, David Oliver, for £10, saying I've missed the start of the dream and the stream because my friend Howard rang. But this Howard knows the Earth is a globe. Good on that, Howard. Good debate on modern day debates, Mr. Sensible. Well, thank you very much, David Oliver. I appreciate that. I really do.
On the YouTube, they still see the star ping-ponging.
Oh, yes, they do. Yeah. There we go. I've taken it off. Remember, there's a delay.
And there's another super chat now.
Yes. I tell you what, shall I just hand you over my password and let you run the stream? Yeah, April Van
I'm
Ryan.
just helping you.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm only teasing, pal. April Van Ryan, $5 Canadian. Thank you, April. This side wanted to be a rapper. I'm sorry, I don't quite get that.
This side
wanted to be a rapper. There's nothing about MC Toon, the worst rapper on the internet, is there? I don't know.
Is he the second worst rapper?
I don't know. He's pretty. Oh, I suppose after Multi Tom Tom, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we don't need to go there. Let's carry on, see what else Howard hasn't got.
But sadly, many will just mock and censor the inquiry to preach calculations and diagrams.
You can
to
leave.
support their
Bye-bye then, dickhead.
Oh well. What should we do now then?
Well, I don't know. I was going to bust out. I was going to bust out the old Polaris and the trigonometry and get him to tell us why the trigonometry was wrong. But you know, at the end of the day, he clearly doesn't want to listen. This is a nice little diagram here.
That's quite interesting. So he's actually used in his evidence when he ran away from conspiracy cats, and cats told him about more evidences he was going to present to him, and he's used that as his evidence against the globe. How do you figure that out then, guys?
I just...
Personal incredulity. That's basically it.
It's incredible, isn't it?
His own ego won't take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means that we're seeing things that should be in the sky, right? For example, here, we're seeing things that should be in the sky a little bit lower down. And if I show some pictures of that, I'm not going to do a whole lecture on it, but if I... This was my PowerPoint. This is what I prepared for old Howard, who...
So Howard's actually
I told you, Howard, we can't play content from other people's...
There we go. Because he's playing loads of Cats' video. James, quite rightly, had to stop it because it's not Howard's video.
Yeah, it's basically not copyright material, but it's other people's material.
That's right. I mean, he'd probably be on a bit stronger ground where he was on that stream to play a bit of the stream, and I don't think Cats would quibble anyway. But that's not the point. He can't just play a whole bunch of Cats' video afterwards with no comment or whatever. How is this evidence against a globe showing a globe proponent actually demonstrating parts of his argument against the flat Earth?
He was taking clips, and like I said, he's taking clips and trying to take another context.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to jump forward a bit.
That's okay.
We're not really missing much, are we?
Actually, no. I wish we said we were, but we're not.
No.
Okay. I feel like both him and Gary, though, are, I would say, extremely dishonest and probably not what you would call real flat Earth believers. They're probably just looking for a fun time messing with people.
Well, what I see on the meme,
like trolls, all right.
The meme that's on screen right now. Please explain what the exact Coriolis calculation is for each of these three shooters. Yada yada yada. He didn't mention Coriolis. I showed the image of the Hurricane because I so wanted him to start saying stuff about Coriolis, because I was going to ask him for his explanation of what Coriolis is, knowing damn well that he actually wouldn't know what it is. You know, even if he disagreed with what it is, he doesn't know what the explanation is, because they never do. It's the typical Oakley Earth turning beneath an object, which is not what Coriolis is. So I was waiting for that. So even though he's got a slide with Coriolis on it, he didn't mention Coriolis at all, that I heard. I don't know if anyone else did. because I was busy scribbling notes, you see, and meanwhile having James tell him half his evidence he can't show, and the video that was shown being out of sync with the comments he was making. So that wasn't that was fun.
That was funny.
What was the opening thing you had to do? It was like a 10-minute presentation or something?
Well, he asked for a 15-minute presentation, and I thought I know exactly why. It's because he's squeezed a load of memes into 15 minutes and just wants to play the video. When it came to it, it turns out he'd squeezed a load of memes into a 15-minute video and wanted to just play it. There we go. So he didn't actually present anything. Presenting is hard. I mean, I do my best, but you know, when you're thinking, right, I'll show this picture, you're talking about it, and you're trying to queue up a video or another picture or whatever, it's difficult to do.
Yeah, I've done it. It's hard.
Yeah, but you know, he didn't do that. He had a pre-prepped video and just played it. I suppose people say, well, you could have done that as well, but they're not supposed to. James had even said, I don't want a video presentation. I want you to present. And I actually said, well, yeah, I am presenting, but I have a 2-minute video within that presentation of one of my evidences. And that was fine. But his whole thing was a video. He would not have been talking, but for the fact James said, I don't want just a 15-minute video played. There we go. Which is why he's trying to talk and explain what's on screen and can't keep up with it because the video's playing at James's end. But he set himself up for that. There we go.
Yeah, there's his own bloody fault for that.
Bosfus de Brun says his presentation confused the hell out of me. Me too. I genuinely mean that. It would have been nice if he could have presented it properly, then, you know, would have known exactly what I was arguing against, but there wasn't really a lot to argue against anyway, was there? No. Okay, let's let him go.
You admit that the observable evidence does conflict with what we're taught to believe, because it's not just a pretty sight to the naked eye either. When renowned journals...
I've just seen on that video, let me just step it back a little.
You admit that the observable evidence...
There we go. We got a helicopter hovering. We got a helicopter over a diagram of the Eiffel Tower with the Earth turning. He doesn't know what Coriolis is. He has absolutely no idea. So he basically thinks if a helicopter takes off the ground, hovers, the ground should whiz away at 1,000 miles underneath him.
No, it doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't work like that. Of course, it doesn't work like that. But
I'm glad it doesn't.
I don't even think he has an understanding of what the atmosphere is.
No, I don't think he's got an understanding of much, to be fair. And I really don't wish to be rude to him, but he genuinely doesn't. Genuinely doesn't.
I hope he can make an experiment to prove it, though. There you go.
Yeah, well, that's one thing about his cold moonlight. He said he's done some experiments, and he's saying that I'm telling people not to believe him and just accept what I'm saying. No, if you said, well, I'm not sure about that, or I think this is the case or that's the case, I'm more than happy to say, well, why don't you test it? Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it.
Yeah.
Now, with the cold moonlight one, when it comes up, yeah, that's just radiation cooling effect of the actual object.
Yeah.
Moisture in the air and stuff like that. It's well known.
Didn't he put it
says
inside the home?
Whoopee. Yeah,
he said he did that as some sort of gotcha or whatever. But the fact is, if he's saying it happens in moonlight, well, that's light. That's energy. However little energy, it's energy. And I said, so you're adding energy and saying it gets colder. He said, you're putting words into my mouth. I'm not saying you're adding it. Well, that is exactly what you're saying. If you said, you put it in the sun, it gets warmer. Yeah, because it's received energy from the sun. Put it in moonlight, it gets colder. You're saying because you put in energy and it's... No, it doesn't work like that. And he actually said about rewriting thermodynamics.
Yeah, he was trying to say that it chilled, didn't cool it. But then again, we know chilling and cooling is exactly the same damn thing. So he's trying to purport that it'd be negative energy being sucked in by the moon. No.
FE peer review says, judging from his facial expressions, I believe he's a Poe doing this for attention. If you have time, go back and watch some of it. I will actually re-watch the stream. That's not just because I like my pretty face, although I do. It's also as a learning thing to see if I can pick up. Do you know what, I should have mentioned this differently or put that a different way. So I will do that as a learning exercise anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
If they would repeat that experiment on a night when there's no moonlight, they would also find out some interesting.
Yes. And I asked him about what he was using to measure the temperature. because they typically use those laser thermometer things, shining the spot on the thing they want to measure the temperature with. Well, quite rightly, that's what you're going to do. But it's not just measuring the area in that spot, it's measuring a circular area. That red spot from a laser is just an aiming device. So they could well be measuring the temperature of something else, or the object and something else.
Those laser ones are notoriously inaccurate too.
Of course. But he said he'd done it with an ordinary thermometer as well. I'm not going to gainsay him because I don't know that he hasn't, and if he has, that's fair enough. Shame he didn't present the results of his experiment, really, rather than just claim Moonlight cool stuff. Yeah. All right, let's see what else he's got.
It does conflict with what we're taught to believe, because it's not just a pretty sight to the naked eye either. When renowned journals publish their findings from having measured over 100 kilometers.
I've just seen he's got NASA document reveals over a flat non-rotating Earth. Yeah, but he didn't mention that. He just showed a meme picture on that, didn't he?
Memes are not evidence.
No, definitely not.
Because they can't find any sign of the surface of the Earth bending. Especially when military can hit a target over 100 miles away, helicopters can hover indefinitely, and the official documentation for pilots defines the ground as level and stationary.
Yes. When he's on about targets, right, like say for example like artillery and all that, and even like in the days of battleships with they doing the First or the Second World War, they got to take curvature of the Earth into account when hitting targets.
Of course. And right now he's showing the Baumgartner. I don't know what happened. I actually had my Baumgartner clip queued up where he says, when I was up there and I looked out, I could see the curvature of the Earth, which is always a bit of a killer. But of course, they show that picture, which quite clearly is distortion due to an action camera, because they're trying to show exactly where he is and as much of the Earth as they can. Nobody is claiming, oh, look, that's a globe Earth. You can see that that's a globe. Not from that photo, anyway. But also claiming that the horizon rises to eye level, when we know it doesn't, because even those sort of mountaintop liquid U thing tests, sort of manometer type tests, show that the horizon doesn't rise to the horizon. And I said, like with my mage, he says, the horizon should rise to eye level. Well, how does he know what eye level is when it's a camera that's swinging about?
Yeah.
Don't know where it's pointing. Oh, Gary Wybenga says, if anybody wants me to debate Mr. 42, tag him and Mr. Sensible to set it up right now. So, Gary, I just read that. Mr. 42, would you be interested in at some point debating Gary Wybenga?
Oh, this is going to be good.
I told him, and I cannot really repeat it completely, but I told him already to go elsewhere. He then called out Professor Bell for a debate. He agreed to that, and they both were going to email you. Gary Wybenga is not doing that and doesn't even want to answer that question if he did or did not. He is too afraid
so it's
debate Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell. Okay, so you're supposed to be having one with Mr. Bell. So, Gary, I'm not going to go into it more here, but by all means, email me. My email should be in the description with regard to Phil Bell and a debate, and I'll happily set it up. Let's leave that there at this point then. Right, so let's carry on. What's he saying about Felix?
Though people like to pretend it's taken out of context, the Red Bull skydive shows the horizon at eye level, no ocean, no rotation,
Yeah,
every
every
hours,
some
some sick of fish islands. So there is some distortion.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's showing now.
Yeah, and when flying, take note how far you can see and check the math. You'll realise that you can see much further than you should be able to. Surely light doesn't bend the same as when you're at water level. Regardless of your height and position and the light force, it seems a bit far-fetched. And when mainstream media is telling you not to do your own research, it might be good to remember that we are prone to conform when under pressure.
Well, he was showing things about jabs then. So, okay, guys, do your own COVID jab research. Do some tests, make sure it works on yourself first. Hold trials for yourself. Okay, can you all do that? In fact, it would only be worth you jabbing yourself if you actually create the jab from scratch. Don't trust anyone else, all right? Shedler, you've got the sound feeding back through again.
Worked great for me, and I can hear Bill Gates perfectly now.
One of you guys in the live chat got
now.
YouTube on, so yeah.
That was me, because there's a huge delay, so I didn't know if you're playing something or not.
Right,
Okay,
you should
sorry.
be getting a sound from Discord. You should be.
I am, but it's very much ahead of the image from YouTube.
Yeah, but you should see the image of me in Discord as well.
Oh, okay.
You should do. Anyway, all right. It could be issues because we've got so many people in here. Who knows? All right, let's let them carry on.
From authority and the majority, especially when they're using techniques like slander, satire, or shame to make an example of people that expose and help discourage others from dare to question. Because regardless of how you calculate it, curvature cannot be seen or even measured.
Well, I showed it with Mage, didn't I? And I showed it with MC Toon's images at the beach level horizon pictures. He didn't really have any way of debunking that, which I'm not surprised.
I think he expects it to be seen with your bare eyes and be able to measure it with your phone.
I mean, it's going to be a tiny amount. Ah, right. If your peer review said, because I didn't pick up on it, that Howard called it a plandemic. So here's proof of what we're dealing with. He also mentioned about stuff. So I think he was saying Armstrong and Buzz were Masons. Maybe they were. Maybe they're not. What the hell's that got to do with it? I said I'm not even going to go there because I mean it's just rubbish.
I have quite a few family members that are Masons, and I don't really understand what the big deal is.
No,
it's kinda
no,
crazy.
there isn't. Anyone can go and become a Mason if they want to.
Hey, Mr. S.
Hello.
Basically, when it comes down to it, if you're in the military and you want to get on sometimes, you join the Royal Buffaloes. Whoopee. It's a sideline of the Masons. So what?
Yeah.
It's just a club.
Yeah. But, so I was not going to get into an argument about Freemasonry. That's something people may want to get involved with, something people may not want to get involved with. Again, it's got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. And as Effie peer review says, yes, Masons, more conspiracy garbage. That's right. I mean, I'll deal with any evidences he's got, any evidence he presents, but I'm not going to deal with just stuff, conspiracy crap like that.
Mr. S.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how many flat earthers are actually builders? Don't they deal with masonry?
Well, maybe that's why Oakley hates Thunderfoot so much, because his name is Phil Mason. Dun dun dun. And anyone who doesn't know Thunderfoot, Dr. Phil Mason, I haven't doxed him. Someone else did that a long time ago.
Everybody knows
his
that.
name is now known, and it's not hidden at all. But I want to be clear, just in case anyone thought I had. Right.
No, everybody knows that, Mr. S.
Yeah. Okay, let's carry on a bit then.
We can demonstrate differences in perspective and angular resolution. We can demonstrate different optical illusions due to various atmospheric conditions. But when the visibility...
Oh, look, he's actually got long Lake Pontchartrain. Says this is not curvature. Well, I'd like to know what it is. Yes, you can see the base of the pylons rising towards eye levels and the top of the pylons going down towards eye level, and then suddenly both of them head downwards as they go round the curve beyond the horizon.
It's their special reverse refraction.
Yeah.
Has he actually tried to use the refraction experiment on top of that tank where they spray butane gas onto it? Where he can come up.
I know the
as
one you
part of his.
Oh, he has.
This is not curvature.
Yes, that's what
he has, hasn't he?
That's what he's got on the
Oh,
left.
good grief!
Yeah, because I was talking about perspective and that, because I used the sunset and saying that that's not perspective, because if you've got a circle, if you move it further and further away from you, it will look smaller and smaller and smaller, but it will never just cut off at the bottom. That's not how perspective works. But you start taking it round a curve, of course, the bottom of it starts to get hidden, just like the sun. Oh dear. And I think, is that top right picture, is that a Phuket word one? The refraction on the road. I'm sure he's used
It
that.
could be.
It may not have been his video, but he's used it.
Mr. S, Rob Slide in the chat says, for the record, Aldrin was a Mason, but Armstrong wasn't.
Well, there you go. And it makes no difference whether one, both, or neither of them were.
And yes, that is exactly the dem from Phuket Word.
Sorry?
That is exactly the dem from Phuket Word that you were asking.
The dem?
Yeah, it's the top of a dem as far as I understood from him.
Sorry, the top of the dem?
You asked about that picture, the top right, right?
Top right picture, yeah.
It's a dam.
Oh, a dam.
Dam.
The dam.
Oh, I thought... Sorry. I think that's the first time, 42. I think that's the first time your accent has ever defeated me. I'm
sorry about
that.
that.
No, not a problem.
Damn.
Oh, and FE Peer Review confirms that is Phuket Words video.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Thank you. Right, let's see what else he's got.
Abilities at best, we're not able to point out the geometric horizon, as we tend to see much further than we should be able to. And there really is no point preaching beliefs or claiming to know the whole story, because we're all missing parts of the puzzle and may never be able to see the whole picture. But at least we could be more aware of how our beliefs can be so influenced by multiple influences. Or
why is he showing tesseracts? What's that got to do with anything? Goodness knows. I think he's picking stuff at random off the internet. He's used some globe earth evidence, random tesseracts, some memes. Yeah.
Well, they would need a fourth
source multiple times. So I find it weird that we still trust news reporters and celebrities when they're clearly reading off a script for their income. And when just a thermometer and a magnifying glass can help you manipulate the effect, which will refute the idea that the moon is reflecting sunlight.
So because Simon Dan's selling ball shavers, that means the Earth is not a ball? Is that what he's saying?
I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to say, like, don't trust the media, don't trust news reporters, don't trust, like, celebrities or what they say, and like, that's what he's trying to put his point across.
Mm. And okay, yeah, you shouldn't just take it at face value just because Simon Dan said, or I said, or Neil deGrasse Tyson said, or Albert Einstein said. Fine, go and look into it, look at the evidence, do your experiments. Instead, he's saying nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh to everyone. For no reason.
He also seems to be very upset that Sam and Dan's got adverts on his channel.
Yes.
Great from Sam and Dan. It's supplementing his income from doing this.
Yeah.
His YouTubes. So fantastic. I can't wait to find you getting one of those bald razor things.
Or a head shaver. Do you remember when Creaky did that?
That's
his first one.
Yeah,
poor
I remember
Creaky. He was
it.
doing the skull shaver or whatever. Oh, bless him. He did look embarrassed doing it. It's quite hard.
Yeah, and we have Gary in the waiting room. He's ready to roll.
Which Gary is this?
Gary G.
Gary G.
Oh, not Gary W then.
No.
No, not quite.
Okay. Hello, Gary G. Hello, Gary G.
It's me.
How are you?
I am fine.
Good. Well, did you catch the debate or some of the debate?
I caught some of it.
Some of it. Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm 74 years old, and all I hear is a whiny little child.
Sorry, I think someone talked over you. Can you say it again, Gary?
I said, I'm 74 years old, 3/4 of a century, and all I'm hearing is a whiny little child.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll close my channel down at once, Gary.
No, you're not the whiny child.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Idiot you're talking to.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I did enjoy it. Let me carry on. You should be able to hear the stream here if you have your YouTube switched off, all right? Okay.
I've got your YouTube switched off.
Excellent.
And,
Excellent. Well, let's go for it.
Okay.
Because it chills water or wet surfaces within just half an hour. Because even the most unbelievable primary observation...
You said a pregnant pause waiting for me to say something?
No.
Mathematical equations and complicated explanations.
You might need to click start stream.
Sorry, say again.
You might need to click start watching stream in order to hear it.
Who? Me?
Oh, no. Anybody else who can't hear it, like Gary?
Okay.
Okay.
It should be in one of the windows. One of the windows here in Discord should be showing it. But he had an image of I can never say it, Selenian or Selenian. What do you call it? I can't think of the word. Can someone help me out?
Analema.
No, not the analema. Let me go back a bit.
Selenelian.
That's the one.
Selenelian.
But then he didn't mention it at all. Didn't mention it at all in the debate. He's got it as a meme picture, but he hasn't. He didn't even mention it. So I don't see why I should address that if he didn't even mention it. It's just a background picture. What's all this?
Did anyone else notice that the analema that he showed had the same cloud pictures for the entire analema?
No.
The clouds in the lowest portion of the picture do not change at all.
So it's faked. He's faked it.
Can anyone spell CGI?
Right, well, let's carry on. So you may or may not hear this, Gary, okay?
Debate, or at least change the topic of discussion to be more about the method and behaviours applied.
I'm half deaf too, so that doesn't make any difference.
As not only does divide and conquer.
What's that? If you put red ants and black ants in a jar, nothing will happen, but violently shake it and dump the ant. Well, what the hell has that got to do with the shape of the Earth? Absolutely. Because that's what's happening in society today. So, yeah, that's not evidence anyway. So,
allow the culprits to escape punishment. It also provokes fanaticism, blind faith, and leads to violence and hatred.
What is he trying to do?
I've no idea. Oh, look at that. Worshipping the golden calf, NASA. Okay. And
why has he got people doing a Hitler salute on the right-hand side?
That is... The one guy circled is not saluting. Yeah, he's standing out, good. So I think he's basically implying that he is the guy not saluting Hitler and the rest of us are. We're just blind sheep.
Yeah, he promotes his weird version of solipsism that all flat earthers do for some reason.
Well, again, whether we're all sheep and he's the one who's going against the grain or not, that doesn't affect whether the Earth is a globe or not. He needs to, okay, he's the one in the circle. We're all the globe believers there around him. Why doesn't he show us that it's not a globe? In fact, why doesn't he put his money where his mouth is and tell us what shape it is? He's so sure it's not a globe. He's too scared to actually say, I think it's flat, or I think it's dodecahedron or whatever.
I've said this before, flat Earth is the gateway conspiracy to other conspiracies.
Absolutely it is. Because it does seem quite harmless, and a lot of people do treat it as a joke, and it goes no further beyond that. Because we know some people are just trying to wind us up and putting forward stupid theories, like on the Flat Earth Society website. Sorry, Gary, can you mute your mic?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, because on the Flat Earth Society, one of the ideas put forward was that the phases of the moon are caused by creatures on the moon that are phosphorescent, called moon shrimp. And as they migrate across the face of the moon, you get the phases of the moon as they migrate across it. I mean,
sounds right to me.
Yeah. Well, actually, it makes more sense than this. At least it explains something that we can see. Then we can look into testing the moon shrimp theory. But this isn't evidence. It's just nothing. Oh, actually, and Thud says it's funny because known Nazis such as Eric DeBay are flat earthers. Yeah, true.
For not actually having anything to support the movement that one is part of, which causes us to deny practical experiments and even personal experience for ideas that conflict with common sense.
Did you see that? He's got all the stuff about air pressure without a container. But again, he hasn't mentioned that. He did not mention the word gas pressure or air pressure or atmospheric pressure once during the debate. Otherwise, I'd have had him with the Mage pressure readings. Yeah. How to confuse gravity. Oh my goodness. The thing is, he's actually shown these memes, but he didn't mention gravity. He didn't mention air pressure. So why is he showing these images if that's not... He's just showing random images and having a whinge over the top of it. That's all I can see.
Wouldn't an orange have a waxy skin so it would make it float? Yet without a skin, it's actually just going to soak up the water.
Well, it must be that the density is quite close to water. I don't know if it would soak it up. Maybe it would soak up some, but you're changing the density of the object, aren't you?
Yeah, but the waxy stuff would actually make it float.
Well, that would keep it watertight.
Repellent, yeah.
I mean, I've never thought about it, but it doesn't confuse gravity. It's obviously less buoyant without the skin for whatever reason.
And I think we all know
relies on gravity.
Confused.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was saying I think we all know who's confused about gravity.
Definitely. Definitely.
And other naturally observed phenomena. And often the sheer admiration of authoritative figures cause us to increasingly ignore conundrums and contradictions, making us even more open to suggestion because we lose our own focus and self-confidence by reacting on emotion instead of stopping to think. So much that we give permission to a select few to maintain and prevent us from making new
This really, really annoys me, the way a number of them carry on about Antarctica, because the treaty is available. As I said in the stream, it's 4 A4 pages. It's not it's not like a 3-inch thick tome of complicated words. It's a 4-page document, very straightforward English, saying what you can do, what you can't do, and so on. You know, and it doesn't say you can't go there. So it's just flat out lies.
Yeah, the full document is about 52 pages, but that's all the other languages. There's only 4 in English.
Because it's about 13 or 14 articles. Each one's only a paragraph or two. It's
there
not
you
a
go.
difficult document. There's plenty of other documents that are difficult. That is not one of them. It's just plain lying. And look at that. So he's showing this boat at Antarctica. There's not much of an ice wall there, is it? It's about 40 foot high, 50 foot high. Well, that's not going to stop anyone from escaping the edge of the earth, is it? Dear, oh dear. Oh, it's so sad. It really is nothing.
discoveries for our own safety. Did we vote for this? Well, technically, yes,
I
because
don't
silence
see
is
any armed
compliance.
penguins.
So
No.
please do help spread the word, because even
Where are
if
the
the
armed
intentions
penguins?
are somehow
I
considered
don't see any
good
Nazi
at
bases
heart,
either.
people are often mistaken and shouldn't have the opportunity to mess things up for everyone else.
Oh, second best Bob, member for 15 months. Thank you, Bob. Free message to say nothing. I'm a flat earther. What? Are you, Bob? Wow.
I think
Bob.
just for today.
Right, let's carry on.
While also making us feel guilty and ashamed for their careless mistakes and experiments.
Why is he showing pictures of different stars? Sun, Sirius, Pollux, Arcturus, Rigel, Betelgeuse, Antares. Just, I presume that he can't accept those sizes? What is it? Why show those? Sunlight, moonlight. Both are totally different, and how can the moon be reflecting sun's light? Well, you can see the moon. Anything you can see is because it's light reflected off it, you chuff nugget. What does
You
he
see, he actually marked out cool and put in chills himself. And Mr. Sensible, we have one more guest for you tonight. It's the fabulous Mr. Jones, 1972.
And let's get him in here. I saw you kicking around earlier on, Mr. Jones. Good evening to you.
Hello. You all right?
I'm all right, and you're loud. Let me just turn you down a bit. Sorry.
Another Sharpie gate.
Just say something else, can you, Mr. Jones?
Yep, we'll do.
No, that's all right. I'll probably just knock your volume back up a tiny bit.
All right,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
And I'll read another super chat from Second Best Bob for £5 saying, I'm actually not a flat earther. I know you're not, Bob. We know that. You got your readings, didn't you? 15 degrees per hour. Thanks, Bob. Well, welcome to you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. How are you doing? You're okay?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you. And did I not see you during the debate kicking around in the side chat?
Yeah, I watched the debate, and congratulations on a great performance. Actually, it was really good.
That's very kind. That's very kind. Like I said a little earlier, I will watch it again because having a debate is not an easy. It really isn't an easy thing, and I'll at least give them credit for wanting to debate. And I'd like to improve where I can. See if I could reword arguments and so on.
Yeah.
I feel that during this one I was much better prepared. I had stuff ready in case he brought up this or that, and he did. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for some clarity, Mr. S, Mr. Jones has a YouTube channel, and Where's Wally gave him a bump recently, and he's shot up the ranks. So well done to there.
It's awesome.
I've already dropped a link to him in the side chat.
Thank you. I can see that in there. I can see that in there. Because Mr. Jones, 1972, you were one of my early 1 minute debunkers, weren't you?
Yes, I forgot. Thank you for featuring that on your channel. It was great.
No, that's all right. I can't remember which your debunk was.
I did a 1 minute debunk on Nathan Thompson's flyer.
Oh, that's right. And you raced through it in a minute, didn't you? Yes.
Yeah,
I do remember it. Yes. And I am thinking of doing a 1 minute debunk show again soon, so everyone listen out for that. And Steve6464 super chatted $5 US. You're not really trying to figure Flirt's logic, are you? Yeah, there isn't any logic to him, I'm afraid, Steve. None at all. He didn't like the fact that we're laughing at him, but like I said, I'll tease. I didn't swear at him once. I mean, the worst I ever do is call someone an idiot or a chuff nugget. That's hardly bad. If he's worried about that, perhaps you should take it up with Nathan Oakley first.
You called him a princess.
Oh, yes, I called him a princess, yes. Yeah. And he obviously is a princess because he took offence to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Suck it up, princess. Oh, dear. I'm just so mean. I mean, I'm sure he'll have to go for therapy after that.
Dreadful person, dreadful. You should slap your wrists.
Yeah.
It's any resource of flat earther, like, you know, the insults they throw. They don't like taking it. They don't like it up them.
No, they don't like it up them at all, Mr. Manrin. They really don't. Yeah, I mean, Nathan Oakley is appalling. It's not. Yeah. I mean, we know that there are people on both sides who will swear an F and blind and call each other bloody idiots and worse. Yeah.
Like myself.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I might be comfortable watching this, but not watching that. And, you know, everyone's got different tastes, but Nathan Oakley is far, far beyond. But I'm not going to make this a thing about Nathan Oakley because he's a despicable person.
Yeah, he's a horrible, horrible man, that one.
So let's carry on with Howard's evidence. I hope he finishes soon.
Especially considering that the sun may not be where nor what we've been taught to believe. It just seems like there are more constructive ways that we could...
You see that on the right? There is only one enemy, and when you fight each other, you make it stronger. What the hell?
That flat earthers in a nutshell.
I mean, does he consider this any sort of evidence at all? Any evidence at all? At most, he's talking. You could say he's talking about how we should conduct ourselves during debates and discussions. You know, and I suppose there's a place for discussing that. But this is not. This is his evidence against the globe. That's what his presentation's supposed to be.
I think he's taking these memes out of context as well, because that one on the right seems very political based.
It does.
Republican and Democratic.
I mean,
look, common energy would be communism.
Look at the egg one.
Yeah, look at the egg one. Eggs are 3 different colours. Of course, they're all the same inside. Yeah, great. That's against racism. Good on you. What's that got to do with the shape of the earth? Oh, Howard. Yeah, in fact, on the right, you are not born racist. You're born into a racist society. Well, why is he even showing this? Jane Elliott's blue eyes, brown eyes experiment.
Like I said, flat earthers take everything. You know, there's not just one conspiracy. There's many others.
But, I mean, has he just accidentally put in a slide from a different debate?
No, he's done it deliberate.
Yeah.
Strange man.
He does it in every debate, though, doesn't he? He goes off on a tangent and.
Well, that's one hell of a tangent. I can understand it during discussion because you get sidetracked, and before you know it, you're talking about something else. But this is in his pre-planned presentation. I think he's taken a video he's done another time and just slotted some extra bits in. Yeah.
Yeah. He just uses he uses platforms like Modern Day Debate and etc. just to push his own narrative, and it drives me mad. I was getting so frustrated in the side chat there. Yeah. I don't know about you, Colt.
Well, I was listening out for the things that I was hoping he would, the trip wires. I was hoping he was going to trip so I could explode him, like the satellite images. Oh yeah, satellite images over time. The image of the UK. I've forgotten what else I had. Felix Baumgartner. Although when it came to it, I'd lost my flipping clip. But there we go. It happens. Right, let's see what he's got to say.
This worldwide disagreement, especially knowing how pointing out differences only adds fuel to the fire.
Clueless, idiotic, incompetent, stupid.
Yeah, I was describing Howard there, I think. But okay, I call him dumb, or not him, flat earthers. Dumb, idiotic, stupid, clueless. That's hardly the worst thing to say in the world, isn't it? I'm not accusing them of being Nazis, which you have, or he had intimated, or anything like that, or disgusting things about pedophilia, which we have often found aimed at us. Again, I'm getting sound back from someone.
Oh, it can't be me. I can't hear the video, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand.
Obnoxious, ridiculous are all words and expressions that you can use to describe many, many flat earthers.
You should listen to that bloke. He's right.
Did he speed your sound up?
I'm sorry?
Did he speed your sound up?
He did, yeah. Because I think he had a much longer than 15-minute video, and he also said to James some of the stuff where it was from other people's videos, he'd sped it up so that the sound's different to avoid copyright. That's not how it works.
I noticed he didn't sound like Mickey Mouse when he spoke.
No, he was talking over the top of this video. Yeah. Basically, no matter the quality or lack of quality of the evidence for his presentation, he screwed up by just providing a single video to James about 2 minutes before we were starting, and then expected it all to work.
He screwed up. He screwed up just by showing that.
Well, is that as well, Gary? Yes. And I think I've just had a super. Oh no! Hold on. Let me just refresh because I don't want to miss any super chats, and my chat wasn't. I don't think my chat's totally up to date. Steve, Bob, David Oliver. I have missed one. I think so. My deepest apologies, David Oliver, earlier on super chat £5 saying, Mr. Sensible, I found out that there was a real man called Coriolis and he played pool. Well, there you go. And thank you for that, David. And I do apologise that the chat wasn't read out at the time. My fault. And I just see another one's coming. Sofa King Sleepy for $2 US. Stirrup is a big hole that you put your boot into. But he's ace, isn't he? Ace hole.
The trouble is, you don't know what comes out with. It's going to smell horrible.
Mr. Sensible, you're going to need R for that.
Well, as I'm sitting... going to need R's for that.
Very good. Very, very good.
Oh, well, I've just about had enough of him, but... in fact, I think he's just finishing. I'll let him finish.
Yeah, most of the people in this photograph aren't even flat earthers or globe skeptics. They're my friends, because we remain respectful and compassionate, even if I no longer share their beliefs, and likewise, if some of them don't share my doubts. We'll still show love to each other, because we're not fanatical. But sadly, many are.
Oh,
and
really?
They can't see the truth due to having reinforced the ideas that were in...
Look at that picture of the teacher with the kids. The arrow said the teacher has no clue a conspiracy exists. She's just teaching what she was taught. The children are just blindly following what an adult is telling them. Oh dear.
I want to say something about this.
Yeah.
This is a projection because this is the case of flat earthers. When they were globers, they believed what the teachers say. They didn't understand it.
Yeah. Because if you understood it, you know that it does make sense. It's not.
This is the.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
No, go on, please, Mr. Jones.
Well, in an interview with Howard Stirrup, I think John Smith Globe Lie interviews him, and he said he was convinced that we were being lied to after seeing about 5 or 6 proofs from Eric DeBay's 200 proofs video.
Well, okay, you watch Eric DeBay and you've listened to what he said and you think it makes sense. I don't, but you think it does. Okay, so you need to check out, well he's saying this. What is the rest of the world saying? Why are they saying it? Do I understand why they're saying it? What's the evidence for them saying this? But yeah, that's right. You can't just listen to some bloke on YouTube for 5 minutes and say, well, there you go, the Earth is flat then. I mean, it's not much really, is it? No. I think he's just about done.
Planted at such a young age. And meanwhile, we might be guarding our own imprisonment behind invisible bars. Sadly, we missed my primary observation of 20 miles, but it's...
Yeah, but that's because you screwed up your presentation, mate, so I'm not going to go on to that.
That's been debunked so many times.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so that was Howard Georg Stirrup's evidence. I don't know if
not impressed.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, not impressed.
No, I
didn't see any. I didn't see any evidence.
There really wasn't anything really, because he emailed and said that he wanted to present first, which is fine by me. But he actually said he said I want to present first because I have the positive claim. I thought, oh, good. He's got a positive, and I thought yes, because he is positively claiming the Earth is not a globe. So it'd be nice to see his evidence for that, not 15 minutes of memes and claims of Nazism and masonry and stuff like that. That's well, technically, it's bollocks. I think that's probably the best way I can put it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely bollocks, yes.
I mean, I don't want you guys to be a bunch of sort of yes men. If you thought, well, no, actually, Mr. S, he's got a good point about this, I'd rather you say, but I honestly don't think he had anything. I really don't.
He didn't have a... He didn't. No, he didn't have a point or anything. He didn't. Oh, it's weird with him because he accuses everybody else of giving their opinions and asking people to believe him. Yeah, all he does is post his opinion, and he doesn't back it up with anything.
Yeah.
And he just says I think that moonlight shows water. He's never done that experiment.
Well, I thought he said he had.
He sort of stuck a meat thermometer in 2 glasses. I think Simon Dan covered it a couple of years ago.
Right.
And he had one in the window, and then one. He had both glasses inside. He had one in the window.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And he's never done it. And I asked him to do it. And I said, why don't you do this experiment? And he said, I'm not asking people to believe me. I just want people to do the experiment. And I'm thinking, well, that's just not how science works, is it? You don't go and speak.
I mean, the thing is that with everything else, it's just a claim. With that, he's claiming this moonlight thing, and then said there was an experiment. So good so far. Now, I thought he was saying he had done it. Okay, that's even better. But he didn't show it or any evidence of the results of it, which is a bit of a letdown, really. But we went.
I did ask him about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we went round in circles about that when I was saying to him about how can adding energy via the moonlight actually make something cooler, and we went round in circles. He said, "You're putting words into my mouth." I said, "Well, no, you said that the moonlight is causing it to end up cooler." Yeah. Well, the moonlight is light; it's energy, so you're adding energy. No, I'm not adding energy. He said, but we went round and round and round. He couldn't grasp that.
No, because you can't magically cool something, can you? You can have an absence of heat, but you can't magically cool something.
Yes, you can stop adding heat, adding energy to it, and either allow the energy that's there to dissipate, or do something positive to extract that energy, like with a refrigerator, where you've got a coolant. Which takes the heat, gets pumped outside, expands, goes through the radiator, disperses that heat out the back.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a cold radiator.
No.
Or a cold laser.
Well, it may be cold as in it's not warmer than the environment or whatever, but it can't actually take energy away, can it? You can't shine some form of radiation or energy on an object to make something colder.
But apparently you can make it colder with a magnifying glass.
Yeah, that's right, the magnifying glass. Now, that was quite a claim, wasn't it? Shame he didn't show that.
No, that's in his 1 minute thing on his YouTube. His 3 favourite experiments that somehow prove the Earth isn't a globe. His cold moonlight, his crazy observation, because there was a guy who lives about 3/4 of an hour away from him, and he said that the streetlights that he's seeing are not the streetlights what he's claiming he's seeing.
Right.
And he's got a website, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. I can't remember his name, but he's done a really detailed observation of it, and he's just completely demolished Howard. I can't believe he's still using it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing about the moonlight thing is ridiculous. And when he was saying I'm not adding any energy, he said using a magnifying glass. Well, you're focusing the energy.
Mr. S.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you missed a super chat from Truth Nerds.
From who?
From Truth Nerds. He's complaining that you missed a super chat.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to miss super chats. Let me just...
I dropped it on message.
Well, so I'm just... From who?
Truth Nerds.
Do you know what, that's not showing up at all?
Probably because
Mr.
it's one
S.
of those free ones that don't show you list.
A members
Yeah.
chat. Okay.
Yeah. If you check in the DM, Mr.
Yes,
S,
I
you'll
see
find
it now.
there.
Thank you. Scrolling back, I see it. My apologies. I'm going to have to watch out for that because it doesn't appear on the YouTube's list of super chats. So that's a bit nasty. So Truth Nerds, member for 6 months, sensible member. Thank you, Truth Nerds. Ironic that a flat earther goes off on tangents. That's actually really good. I like that. Oh dear.
There is one thing I'll take from the debate, Mr. S, and not the fact that you were, right and destroyed everything he tried to come up with, but he did try to say that we should be nicer to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will try, but if you're going to come out with stupidity, expect us to laugh.
And laugh hard.
Well, I mean, my shtick is sort of gentle humour. I never want to be nasty. I mean, he mentioned during the stream about his dyslexia, and I've heard him mention that in other streams he's been on, where he struggled with the name of a Himawari satellite, and then said that he's dyslexic and you shouldn't use that against him. I wouldn't dream of using that against someone. I really wouldn't. And I was just waiting in case he ever said that. So I would say, no, I definitely wouldn't do that. That would be no different than turning, as far as I'm concerned, turning around and saying, well, your argument's rubbish because you've got dark skin. It's absolutely ridiculous and got nothing to do with it. I wouldn't have dreamt it. I mean, that's spiteful, hateful, and yeah. But I'm going to poke fun gently. That's me. Like I said, if he doesn't like that on my channel, then don't come to my channel. I'm sure he doesn't. I know that for instance, there are other debunkers who use much stronger language, and some of you guys have said, oh, I can't watch person X because he says this or says that. That's fine. People have different things that they find acceptable, and me, as far as I'm concerned, gently teasing, trying to catch someone out, calling them a chuff nugget. I'm happy to do that. Nothing nasty. There we go.
Super chats.
Oh,
can we use the S word?
I don't know what.
we have a saying over here. It's basically in the South. It's kind of like, if you can't shit, get off the pot.
Yeah, no. I mean, I am not. People drop the F-bomb. People say shit. A few were, and I said bollocks earlier on. I'm not a prude or anything like that. But what I don't want on my channel is to be absolutely riddled every other word with needless swearing.
Exactly.
That's all. I'm not against a swear word being used from time to time where appropriate. RT96, thank you for your super chat. Super chat is $5 US. Flat earthers often go off on tangents, especially when asked to define tangent. Yes. Thank you for that, Archie. Very true.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, Effie Peer Review says nice is nice, but honesty is more important. Howard was not honest. No, he wasn't really. Yeah. Well, I did enjoy. I actually enjoyed the stream because I know that he is not.
Yeah, there's good.
Yeah, he's not a raving lunatic like some of them. As in behaving like a raving lunatic. But I knew what to expect. I knew he would try and change the subject all the time. I knew that he would try and talk over me all the time. And actually, James did pick him up on that a few times, which was nice.
Yeah.
And I knew that he was going to bring up stuff about satellites, so I was prepared for that. And
I was waiting on Sataloons.
Sataloons, yeah. No one's denying that they exist, but that ain't what I saw from my back garden in my video. Unless they could have predicted that Sataloon would happen to blow over in that exact direction, exact time, weeks in advance. It ain't going to happen.
They never considered the logistics. I just recently moved from Las Vegas, back in February. And I can remember walking around Las Vegas and seeing satellite dishes, and every one of them was pointing at about a 45-degree angle into the sky. Yes. Now, you want to put a Sataloon up there. How many satellites is it going to take, and how much helium is it going to take to keep that satellite in that position 365 days a year, 24 hours a day?
Absolutely. And did you... yeah, because, they move. They literally move. But the satellite will be stationary.
It's called the wind.
Yeah. A satellite will be stationary in the sky. It was quite interesting. You said satellite dishes don't point straight up. They all point about sort of 45 degrees or whatever. Well, yeah, because you're in the UK, and that's going to be the angle to the satellite. If you're down south, close to the equator, they'll be more and more upright. And I've just had
they are 90 degrees up. Yes.
Absolutely, at the equator, which I showed. I just had a very kind super chat from Adam Lord for £5. Thank you, Adam. Saying, Mr. Sensible, just watch your debate. That's the very best debate I've ever seen against a flurf. Perfectly addressed each and every point. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate those kind words. I really do. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the best debate, but I enjoyed it, and I think I made an effort to address everything and to provide him with some evidence which he couldn't debunk. But I really, really appreciate those kind words. Thank you, sir.
Definitely in the top 3 that I've seen, definitely.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Definitely.
Oh, no, Cats liked it because he tweeted
Cats liked it,
yeah. That was a
he replied to my tweet as well,
yeah. Guys, where are we now? It's 11 o'clock. Sorry, Otto Maddox. I blow helium in my pants. I call them pantaloons.
oh.
Guys, it's lovely having you all in here. I'm going to wrap up now.
I think you held your ground very well. I think you held your ground without being disrespectful.
Thank you. Well, without being disrespectful, I was cheeky. I called him Princess. I had that thing saying, it's a globe, suck it up, Princess. I don't know if you saw a couple times when he was saying things, I popped up above my head saying it's a globe. I checked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was cheeky, but it was, yeah, there we go. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you all into the live waiting room. You're welcome to stay as long as you want while I wrap up the stream, and then I'll jump in for a few minutes, I expect. Okay. So, thank you very, very much, all you guys who join me in the live chat. Thank you to all the... actually, I'll start throwing you over there now. Thank you, Captain Welshie and Crow and Gary G. Thank you. Mr. 42, good night.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Jones 72, good to see you on here tonight, sir.
You too, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And who else we got there? M. Shedler, thank you very much for joining me. First visit, hope you come back again sometime. He's gone quiet. Well, thank you anyway. Appreciate it. And Rory. Thank you very much, Rory.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Do visit again, yeah?
For sure.
Thank you. Take care. Right, everyone. Again, let me just do a last-minute check. Make sure I haven't missed anything, because I do so hate that. I don't know I haven't. Thank you. Because I really hate that when it happens. I feel terribly, terribly embarrassed. I appreciate the support I had during the debate. I was trying to keep an eye on the comments where I could, so I did see many of you there. Thank you for joining me here tonight on this, it's a breakdown of his evidence. What I will do, and especially for those of you who haven't seen the debate, I will upload it again in the next couple of days. Apparently, I did check with James, I could do it immediately, but obviously I'll have to download it and process it and whatever first. So that will be going live on my channel. So I appreciate any views on that as well. So members, patrons, subscribers, friends, countrymen, I appreciate you all. So I'm going to say thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Stay sensible and good night. Bye-bye.
Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese, and get me only the best if you please, Here are some flowers, let me display them. Name it to one or you have gone all slay them. Mr. Sensible, you are a man. Every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out please. Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jump off the roof. It's hard enough, let me go further. Why was I ever such a darn flat earther? Mr. Sensible, I'm such a clown. I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help me out please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere, to which the waters of the oceans adhere, have explanations, but let me be candid. So clear